Good afternoon, all ladies and
Sorry, Miss
gentlemen.
Adile. Just
Okay,
give me
no
1
problem.
minute for
Okay,
the live stream to be ready. I'll just let you know.
No problem. Just tell me to start.
I'll do. Okay.
Adile abla ben başta olayım. Hani introduce yaparsanız sonra kapatayım, olur mu?
Okay.
We can start.
Hello and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And hello, warmly welcome from Pretoria today. My name is Adile Da, and as I said, I'm from Pretoria, and I'm the event coordinator of Turquoise Harmony Institute of Pretoria. And today we will be again together in a cooking class and online cooking class, and we have got very nice dish and a dessert so that we will make it together. And our friends has done already did it for us on behalf of us, and we will watch all the videos of that. And while our main dish was eggplant today, a dish that make with the eggplant, aubergine, or eggplant. We want to talk about a little bit about eggplant. A little bit, the theme of today's is eggplant, how the benefits or whatever it is, and so on. And now, my friend Shirizan Besidian from Cape Town, she will be my co-facilitator today. I want to welcome her on behalf of yourself or on behalf of your audience. And she is one of the regular participants of Turquoise Harmony Institute's cooking classes in Cape Town. And she is participating today to our program as our co-host from Cape Town. Welcome, Shirizan. It's nice to see you.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum, and hello to all our viewers. Thank you so much, Adila, for that introduction. It's such a pleasure being online again, all the way from Cape Town. We've got such beautiful weather here today. I'm actually being spoiled this weekend, and I'm connecting from Arniston here in Cape Town. So today we're going to talk about the eggplant. And so between our dishes, I'll be sharing with you a little bit about the eggplant. You know, what the different names are. And I think the mind-boggling question is it a vegetable? Is it a fruit? What are some of the health benefits of the eggplant? And just some basic guidelines around how to grow an eggplant. So so we've got an exciting program, and I know that Rabia is doing an amazing dish for us later on. And as you know, eggplants are, you know, quite a delicacy when it comes to making dishes. And they're quite popular in Mediterranean dishes, Italian dishes, Turkish dishes. And I think it's become very common in our Cape Malay dishes as well. So I just want to share with you a little bit, and I'm going to show you a slideshow. Let's just Okay, so already our first page is mouth-watering, where we can see that the eggplant is quite a delicious dish that one can make. If we look at that picture alone, we've got some coriander, some peppers, and yogurt with that. So that's just a lovely picture there. Okay, let's just go. Okay, so why is it called an eggplant? Obviously, you know, it resembles the shape of an egg. And as we can see there, the name of the eggplant was given by the Europeans as far back as the 18th century because there were different varieties. And if we look at some of the pictures that I've got there, it actually resembles the shape and size of a goose egg. So as much as we've seen more an oblong shape of eggplant, we can see originally they've actually come in the form of a goose egg shape, and obviously very purplish, even towards a dark purple. And some of the varieties are even a light color, as in sort of a cream and a white color. So the question is, what are the different names called? So if we've got viewers out there and they know the different names of what an eggplant is called, please put it on our chat, because we know that we're calling it today an eggplant. And I think already Adil has mentioned the second name, but there's also a third name in South Africa that we refer the eggplant to. So please put it on the chat there. And there we go. Those are the three different names. So eggplant, we would normally call that, and that really comes from, America, Australia, New Zealand. The UK, they normally refer it to as the aubergines. And of course, here in South Africa, we refer it to as a brinjal. But it all means the same thing. So it's quite interesting how the name eggplant has evolved over the years, and it's been called different names. Okay, so the question is the eggplant a vegetable or is it a fruit? Please put your comments in the chat. And then when we come back after our dish, I'll share with you what that is. Okay, so over to you, Adila. I think we can start with our first dish.
Okay, thank you very much. They were all interesting information for us. Our first dish is called karnıyarık or imam bayıldı in Turkish. It's an eggplant dish and very, very traditional eggplant dish. And you can see the varieties of that eggplant dish all around Mediterranean, or even some kind of that dish in Middle East. It's a very common, and it's one of the celebrated of all Turkish recipes. And it has got two different names. I wanted to, before introduce my friend who made the dish for us, wanted to explain something about the dish. Now, it's the same dish, almost the same dish, but it has got two different names in our culture. İmam bayıldı or karnıyarık. Karnıyarık is the stuffed eggplant with mince. It's a meaty food, and mainly it is the main course of the day. You serve it with the rice or something. And imam bayıldı is the same stuffed eggplant, but it is filled only with veggies, tomatoes, onions, and some pepper in it. You know, you make the same dish if it is meaty, then if you make it with mince, it's called karnıyarık in our culture. And if you fill it with with some of the veggies, it's called imam bayıldı. And imam bayıldı means, if you translate it one by one to English, imam fainted. And maybe it won't make any sense in the minds when we hear about it first, but the story is interesting about it. It is said that about Imam bayıldı, the fainted imam, that once upon a time there were living an imam in Turkey, and he wanted to get married, and he married a very rich oil businessman, a businessman who is selling oil, olive oil especially. And then he married his daughter. And when they get married, the father-in-law gives 12 big jars of olive oil to the groom as a wedding gift. And it is said that all the jars were so big as a human. So, and then when they get married, the bride always wanted to cook best things, whatever she can cook for her husband. And then the first night she tried the stuffed eggplant meal for him, and he loved it. And he asked his beloved wife to cook it every evening as a main course. And the wife cooked that food for 12 days in a row. Every single evening, the main course was that stuffed eggplant. And in the 13th evening, the imam asked the wife for the main course as the stuffed eggplant. And then she said that, "Oh dear husband, we have finished our oil, and therefore I couldn't cook it." And he was so shocked that and he fainted at that moment. And it is said that because he fainted at that moment, the name of that dish is İmam bayıldı, which is called fainted Imam in our story. And now that up from that story on, now Rabia Inal from Cape Town, our friend from the Turquoise Harmony Institute Women Platform Coordinator, she will show us how to make both İmam bayıldı and karnıyarık so that we can have both options to make it meaty or veggie. Let's see how she makes it.
Hello everyone, it's me, Rabia, again from Cape Town. Very warm greetings from Cape Town to you all. We are going to make an eggplant dish today. I don't know which one should I call. Eggplant, brinjal, aubergine. Okay, let's introduce the ingredients. We need the eggplant for the base, and then mince filling for mince filling, mince, onion, tomato, some garlic, and seasoning, salt, black pepper and paprika, and of course little bit of olive oil, and then here you can add some parsley if you like. And for vegetarian filling we are going to use onion, again pepper, tomato, some garlic and olive oil, and then some seasoning. First we start with preparing our brinjals. How are we going to make? Actually, like here also, in a normal, like usual way, you fry it in the oil. But we want to be healthy, so let's make it in the oven. I normally make it in the pan. I just slightly brush it with olive oil and then put it in the pan, close the lid, and then just in the slow heat, it may be like in an hour. And then brinjals get brown, and then it's going to be ready to be filled. But today I'm going to put it in the oven because we are having guests, and I'm going to make a big amount of brinjal, and then hopefully to get some feedback from them as well later. So today, how are we going to make it? We are going to make it with two different fillings, and the name is also going to change. First one we are going to make it with mince filling. It's called karnıyarık. And then second one we are going to make it vegetarian for our vegetarian friends, and then it's going to be called İmam bayıldı. But now let's start making the dish. First we are going to start preparing our brinjal base. I'm not going to cut this head part, and then I'm just going to peel it in zebra strips. I'm going to cut them in half. Yeah, and then place it in the Pyrex. We are going to brush them with olive oil. As I said, there are many ways to prepare the brinjals. It's up to you. First, you can fry in the oil. Second, you can fry on the fire. And third, you can brush like how I did now, and then brown in the pan. And then the last, you can, same way I'm doing now, you can put them in the oven. While our brinjals are getting ready in the oven, we are going to prepare the filling. First, I'm going to make the mince filling. For that, I'm adding my mince, and I'm going to chop my onions and then put them at the same time. While the mince filling is cooking, I'm going to prepare vegetarian filling as well. And for that, I'm going to use onion, pepper and tomato. I'm going to chop them in a half moon shape. Olive oil, and add my onion and pepper. And I'm cutting garlic and tomatoes as well for the vegetarian filling. I'm going to cut tomatoes also in half moon shape. I want to add a little bit of tomato paste. I'm not going to add too much. Adding some black pepper, some paprika, and some salt. I close the lid and then leave them to cook. Our mince filling is ready. Our vegetarian filling is getting ready. Here I can add garlic. Here I add it nicely, and then I add the tomato. Again I add some salt, some black pepper, some paprika. I have some parsley. I'm going to sprinkle on top of the fillings. Our vegetarian filling is also ready. I switch the stove off and then I sprinkle some parsley. Our eggplants are ready. Check, it's soft enough. I'm going to make a little cut in the middle so I can fill the filling. But I never cut on the other side, just slightly. Now we are going to fill the brinjals. And now this tray we are going to fill it with vegetarian filling. Our karnıyarık and İmam bayıldı are ready. Now it's time to make some art. Here you can just arrange however you like. Before I put it in the oven for the final round, we are going to prepare a sauce. We are going to add a sauce, and then now we are preparing it. And for the sauce, I use some tomato paste, some paprika again. I can add all. And some black pepper again. And some, this is steak and chop spice. So I use it for anything basically in the kitchen. I love the flavor. So I'm going to add some from this as well. I add hot water and mix it. Because we didn't add salt in the brinjals, so I'm going to sprinkle some salt on top. Before we put it in the oven, let's add some garlic in between. Brinjal, mince and garlic are the best matches. Now we are going to put them in the oven. And food is ready.
Thank you very much, Rabia. That dish really looks delicious, and I know it's really delicious. And as I said also before, we are serving it mainly with the rice next to it. And it was really nice. Thank you very much. As we say, ellerine sağlık.
Thank you, Rabia. That was absolutely interesting. I must say, making aubergine dishes for me was always a difficult one. I think with all of us, if you don't know how to actually make it, you'll find that, it becomes quite challenging when you're trying to fry it or cook it. and you discover that it actually absorbs quite a bit of oil. But I think just looking at the method of putting it in the oven, it's actually quite a good idea. And I've also learned that many people also put it on the braai. And it actually gives a very delicious taste to it and a flavor to it. So yeah, and I like the idea that, you know, you can make that dish, the cognac, you can make it, well, either with the mince and then obviously with a vegetarian. So for vegetarians out there, I think it's it's a perfect dish. And I kind of like dishes that you can just pop into the oven. So while you're busy with something, you can just leave it in the oven and you can get on with something else, either make a salad with it. So fantastic. I look forward to making this recipe. Okay, so what I thought I'll just share with you, because I haven't seen anybody respond. So the big question is, is the aubergine or eggplant or brinjal, is it a fruit or is it a vegetable?
I think it's a veggie.
Do you think it's a vegetable?
Yeah.
Okay, let's just find out. Okay, so the eggplant is in fact a fruit. And I learned that also with my research, because all along I always thought it was a vegetable, but it's actually an edible fruit. And it comes from the plant species in the nightshade family, Solanaceae. I think that's how you pronounce it. And it's a worldwide edible fruit grown in almost all parts of the world because it's so easily grown. It grows preferably in a warm climate, and it's being cultivated in its native Southeast Asia. So it actually comes from the southern part of Asia. Yeah, so guess what? It's actually a fruit and not a vegetable.
That's interesting.
Okay, so if we look at, there are actually over 12 varieties of eggplants. I mean, we only know of maybe 1 or 2 here in South Africa, but there are many. It's called golden eggs, Zephyr, Dunja, Nubia, Littlefinger. So there are many, many varieties of the eggplants, but obviously based on the climate and conditions, it obviously depends on where those varieties are growing. Okay, so the common eggplants that we know of is the one that it's called graffiti. And I think if you just look at the shape of the eggplant and also the design there, you can see it's got little white stripes on there. And that one often produces small seeds. It's got a very thin skin. It's delicious when stewed or roasted. It's normally got, you know, that purple look. Yeah, and it's often called fairy tale, or from the varieties called shooting star. And it's one of the varieties that cooks quite quickly. And it's great for grilling with cheeses, and particularly mozzarella and feta cheese. So yeah, so that's quite interesting. And then the common other eggplant that we know, we call it the Italian one, which is, I think, what Rabia used in her recipe there, which is the very dark purple one. And it's actually where Italian recipes are often used for. So it's really a wonderful fruit that one can use to present a variety of dishes. So absolutely, yeah, some interesting discoveries that we've made there. So I think one of the highlights for me when I did my research was the health benefits around it. And if we just look at all the different, you know, nutritional value out of one aubergine, we can see it's got vitamin B, vitamin C, vitamin K. So you can just see all the different nutritional value of just one eggplant. And for those that are weight conscious and health conscious, you can see just for every 100 grams, you're looking at only 25 calories. So really, if we look at the dish that Rabia made, you can see that, 25 calories plus all the other vegetables with it, it really can, it gives you a wholesome meal and very healthy. And also, if you can see, it consists not only of all those different vitamins, but also protein, fat, and carbohydrates. So it's really a very nutritious fruit, which I think is wonderful to use in the kitchen. Okay, so Adila, over to you now.
Okay, thank you very much. We have learned so many things. And while you were explaining about the varieties, I think about myself, what I know. Till now, I know 4 varieties of aubergine. The Italian one and the other purple one we have got in our own homeland in Turkey. And we have got also the big one, really, really big one, like a pumpkin. We call it bostan, and we fill it also with meat. And the finger one, I have learned it here when I come to South Africa. So far, 4 varieties of eggplant. It's not so bad, I think. Thank you very much for all your informing information. It was really nice, and we have really learned too much from you. And now, after such a nice meal, we need something to eat as a dessert, of course. And now from Durban, our friend Gülşah Dinler will show us how to make Şöbiyet baklava, a very traditional dessert of our, a very traditional dessert. And welcome, Gülşah.
Hello, welcome.
How are you?
I'm okay, you?
Good, thank you. It's nice to see you. Gülşah Dinler is a math teacher from Durban. And now we will see her, how she baked Şöbiyet baklava for us in our next demo.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Gülşah from Durban. Today we will do super easy and super delicious dessert with you. As you know, one of the most famous dessert in Turkey is baklava, but also it is really hard to do it. Today we will do with you very easy type of baklava, which we call şöbiyet, and it's very easy method. You can all do at home easily. Now let us start from ingredients. Our main ingredients is puff pastry. I think this is very important for all of us, and I'm really happy when I have in my freeze all the time. So for cream inside, we need half cup of milk and then 1.5 tablespoon semolina. And for syrup, we need water, 2 cups water, 2 cups sugar, and quarter lemon. And also we need nuts. Cream and nut we will mix together. And nut, it can be any type of nut. It can be walnut, pistachio, hazelnut, but it must be unsalted. So I'm gonna use today hazelnut. These are our ingredients. Let us start quickly. Firstly, we are starting from our cream and syrup because they must be cooled down. For cream, half cup of milk and 1.5 spoon semolina. We are gonna mix till it gets thick. But first of all, we are starting to prepare our cream, and then I just mix our semolina and milk, half cup milk, and we are stirring till it gets thick. But we can use also double thick cream. So from market you can have normal double thick cream. Or this cream. We are preparing them first because they must be cooled down. And when I'm mixing this, I just want to ready our syrup. 2 cups of sugar, water. 2 cups sugar. If you don't like too sweet, you can just add less sugar. And when it gets boiled, I'm just add my lemon. 2-3 minutes it will boil. So My cream is almost ready. This is our cream, but we will wait till it gets cold. Our syrup is boiling now, so we are adding lemon. Now, maximum 2 or 3 more minutes it will boil. It won't be very thick, just like that. So after it will be ready. But as I said, it must be cool. We are not using when it is hot. Now we are starting main part of our dessert. So we are cutting square pieces of our puff pastry. So you can cut smaller, not smaller actually, if it's small you can't fit cream. You can cut bigger pieces. So basically 3 finger square pieces, we will cut it.
Tamam.
1 teaspoon cream and 1 teaspoon hazelnut. Or less than 1 teaspoon. And we will fold them into triangle nicely. Nicely we will close it, and you can just put direct the tray. You don't have to spread any butter or any oil because our puff pastry already oily. So just fold it nicely. We have 32 pieces here and it's ready to bake now. We should preheat our oven 180 degrees. It shouldn't be faster. If the outside can bake nicely but the inside can't bake maybe. That's why not very slow but not very fast. 180 degrees is perfect. According to your oven it can change. 20 minutes. In 20 minutes it will be ready. We baked it. And you can see each layers baked nicely, and cream and nuts never leaks inside. So after baking 3-4 minutes, it should wait outside. If it is really hot after oven, and if you put your syrup, it will be so soft. So we like it more crunchy. If it is crunchy, it will be more tasty. To make it more crunchy, your syrup must be cold, even not warm, cold, and then it will be for 5 minutes or 2-3 minutes outside must be. So after, from each pieces, we are just pouring our syrup. So we will wait it after your tray is cooled down, your dessert is cooled down. We will wait it after it will be ready to eat. We have poured all syrup, and after 5 minutes later it will be ready. It will be cool down, and please don't close it, don't cover it. It must wait like that. When you cover it, it will be soft. It is ready to serve now. It's really a quick dessert for unexpected visitors, or if you really crave something sweet, you can do it easily in a short time. But I should tell something very important. If you make ready, that day you should finish it. If you stay another day, next day, it won't be fresh as first day. What can you do? In my tray there were 32 pieces. If you think you can't finish the 32 pieces, half of them you can, or how many you can finish, you can add syrup for these pieces, and for next day or for next time you can keep it and you can put syrup, you can add syrup later. Enjoy it. I hope you will try. I hope you try and you like it. Bye. Have a good day.
Thank you very much, Gülşah. It's really finger-licking and mouth-watering, and we learned all the tips for that dessert. Thank you very much. I really enjoyed it. I never made it before. I'm a fan of karnıyarık or imam bayıldı in every sense, but that dessert, I remember that I ate it from you. It's really delicious, but I have never tried it by myself. I think now we have to make it. Huh, Sherizan?
Absolutely. It looks mouth-watering. Gulshan, well done there. I must say anything with nuts for me does it. So maybe I should ask you, so I'm the kind of person that loves ice cream with everything. Perhaps have a blob of ice cream next to it. I'm sure that will be delicious just to break the bit of sweetness.
Thank you so much for reminding. Actually, I forgot to tell in my video.
Yes.
It is perfect choice with ice cream and this dessert together. It's really perfect.
Yes, yes.
You know, it's very sweet. So sweet stuff and ice cream is really a good choice.
Yes,
And
yes.
I learned this dessert almost 10 years ago when I was in Johannesburg, another cooking class. I never learned also when I was in Turkey. So it was so easy, and you know, we all have busy life, and that the easy things really attract me because I am working at school, I am teacher, and I have small kids. That easy things I really memorize, and then when I have visitors, I do quickly. Actually, I can do karnıyarık as well, but it's a bit hard. So that easy stuff, it's always good to know. When you have, as I said in my video, unexpected visitors, or when you really want to do something easy, quick, you can try it. I hope you all try, and I hope you all like it.
Definitely, definitely will try it. Please invite us for tea soon.
And when you come to Durban, please.
Okay, so now I'm going to move to the last bit. So I'll just share my screen there. Okay, so the last thing we looked at the health benefits, and the next thing we're going to look at, the last bit for our session today, is obviously how do you grow an eggplant? And it's actually very simple. To all our viewers out there, you can actually take the seeds from your aubergine, your eggplant, or your brinjal, and you can actually dry those seeds. And once they're actually dry, you can put them in a jar and always plant them at a later stage. Or you can start the germination by, once the seeds are dry, you can actually put them in a tissue paper and dampen it. So it's something similar like you would grow a bean. You'd put it in some tissue paper, you'll damp it, and you'll leave it in a warm place or a dark place for about a week or two. And eventually you'll start seeing the germination process happening, where you'll see a little root come out from the seed itself. And once that starts happening, you can actually then take the sprout and you can plant it in very rich, moist soil. And then you can also put it in a pot if you don't want to put it in the ground yet. And it's always good to put seedlings in pots first so that you know, you can control the growth of it. And then, yeah, so it normally takes about 100 to 150 days for the plant to actually start bearing fruit, which is not actually that long. So it could be just over 3-4 months. And then you have quite a matured plant that blooms, that flowers, and produces an aubergine. In fact, one plant or one seed can even grow into quite a matured plant, and it can produce anything between 4 to 6 eggplants with one seed. So growing brinjals is actually quite an easy a growth cycle, if you could look at it. I mean, and you can take it from the brinjals that you make in your home. You can take a few seeds, you can dry it. So it's actually quite a simple growth cycle, something to do in your back garden. If you've got green fingers, I don't even think you need to have green fingers there. You can grow that in a pot in your back garden, and in 3 to 4 months, you would start seeing it bear fruits with some lovely aubergines. And that you can do with any of the varieties, as long as you dry out your seeds, you start the germination process, you see the little roots coming out there, and then you can actually start planting it. So yes, it's a very simple process, and there are lots of videos that actually show you how to plant the eggplants. So I hope you're all going to try that. Yeah, and that's really all from my side. I hope that I've actually shared with you some tips on the eggplant.
Okay, thank
Adila?
you very much, Shirizan, for everything, for all the information that you shared with us today. It was really, really nice, and we all learned that, or maybe I have learned that eggplant is a fruit, not a veggie. That's something very important that I have learned today. And besides this, we have really, really learned so many things about the eggplant. Thank you very much for that, for all your uh, for all your support and for being with us at the program today. Thank you very much for being here. And I don't know why, but today I was really, really, really excited, and still I feel that I'm very excited. I don't know, but it's almost over now. Thank you very much for participating. Sherizan from Cape Town, Gülşah from Durban, and Rabia with her demo from Cape Town. It was really an honor to be with you people. It was really nice. We have learned too many things about eggplant. The dessert was really delicious. Our main dish was very delicious. Really, thank you very much. And thank you very much for all the people who are watching us now. And thank you very much for the technical team from Joburg that supports us always and manage everything for us. And stay home, stay safe. Still, we are very busy with the COVID still again. And that's all what I wanted to say for today. Thank you very much for being with us, and thank you.
Thank you to all our viewers. Yes, just some last words from me. It's always such a pleasure to connect with all our ladies out there, nationwide, worldwide. Stay connected every month. As you can see with all our sessions, there's exciting meals, desserts, tips. And I think we're never too old to learn, and we learn all the time. Sometimes we think we know everything, but believe me, these sessions are really, really helpful. So thank you to all the viewers for connecting with us today. I'm hoping we could meet up again in the future with some other exciting desserts and menus. And thank you to Adila, Gülşah, Rabia, and the technical team for making sure that things always run smoothly on the show. Thank you very much, and for having me here. Thank you.